At my wedding, my mom asks me, "Did you hear the news about your sister?" I set my champagne glass down on the table in front of me and turned my full attention to my mother, who was sitting beside me, eyes glowing and cheeks flushed with alcohol and pride. I frowned. "What news?" I asked. She froze immediately and began searching for an escape route. I grabbed her hand before she could run. "What news?" I repeated. "I thought you knew," she said quietly. The glow in her eyes dimmed slightly. She clamped her lips shut and shook her head. She wrenched her hand free from my grasp and hurried away, disappearing into the crowd of guests. I glanced around the wedding venue, noticing for the first time how guests would avoid my eyes, or how they would come up to my sister and congratulate her, or ask her how she was doing. In fact, it suddenly dawned on me that I wasn't the center of attention at all at my own wedding. It was my older sister. I had to find out why. I hurried from guest to guest, asking if any of them knew where my sister was. Each one would avoid eye contact with me and mumble something before walking away quickly. My dad walked away before I could even come up to him and ask. My siblings wore forced smiles that didn't reach their eyes. Something was very wrong. I hitched up my wedding dress and made my way through the dancing crowd until I finally spotted my sister in the corner gushing to her best friend about something. Her best friend saw me first and paled slightly, pointing me out before making her escape. My sister spun around to face me, her face paler than normal. Her makeup slightly covered the dark circles under her eyes, and she forced a smile when she saw me. "Congratulations, sis," she said brightly. I ignored her words and folded my arms across my chest. "Do you want to tell me this news that you've been apparently telling everyone but me?" I asked. She shrugged. "There's nothing to tell," she answered. "I've just been a little sick this past week." I frowned. "Something is going on. Mom told me." She finally sighed and grabbed my hand, pulling me into the girls' bathroom that was thankfully empty. "I didn't want to make such a big deal about this," she sighed, "but I'm pregnant." I gaped at her in shock. She and her husband have been trying to have a baby for years now with no luck. It was amazing news, but all I could think about was the fact that she told everyone her news at my wedding. It was supposed to be my day, not hers. "Congrats," I finally said after a moment of silence. "I'm happy for you, but why did you have to tell everyone at my wedding?" She rolled her eyes at me. "It's such great news. I thought you would be happy for me, and I am. But this is my wedding day. The news couldn't have waited till tomorrow. Why are you being like this?" Her voice rose in anger. "I was just excited." I shook my head at her. "I hope you guys are very happy with your baby," I snapped. "The next time you have something to celebrate, I'll make sure to steal your thunder on that day. Until then, please don't talk to me. I can't be around you right now." I had to find my husband to tell him what had happened. Tears threatened to fall from the corners of my eyes, and I wondered if I was overreacting to this. I stormed out of the bathroom in anger and stewed during the rest of the wedding. My new husband thought I was being ridiculous, being upset about this. My family thought I was being dramatic. My sister thought I was being hateful. The next time I talked to my sister was when she called me from the hospital in tears. I dropped everything to meet her there, and that was when I heard what happened. She tried so hard to have the baby, but in the end she had a miscarriage. I learned it was her fourth miscarriage, and she no longer wanted to try to have a baby again. She and her husband were devastated. The whole family was heartbroken. And I realized that my own childish reaction at my wedding didn't matter.